I like being right as much as the next guy, but sometimes when you're right about certain things that are negative for the country, it's a bummer. And we're finally getting to the bottom of what exactly has been going on with Jared Moskowitz. I've gotten a lot of pushback from people telling me that the reason he's kissing ass to these Trump sycophants and becoming a Trump sycophant himself is because of the threats against he and his family, the violent threats from Trump supporters. I would understand that if I also wasn't a recipient of death threats and my wife death and rape threats because of the content we produce online. This is a time for fighting. This is a time for resistance. And Jared Moskowitz seems not ready or willing to resist, but ready and willing to join Trump. There's no other way to look at it. I'm going to go through the list, but I saw this tweet yesterday from Steve Contorno from CNN, along with Kristen Holmes. They're reporting about the next step in the evolution of Jared Moskowitz. That it was alarming. And then I'm going to recap where we are with him. But this was the tweet. New Florida Representative Jared Moskowitz, a Democrat, is a top contender to lead FEMA for Donald Trump, sources tell me and Kristen Holmes. Moskowitz previously served as the Director of Emergency Management for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, where he helped lead the state's COVID response. You know, the wonderfully done COVID response from Ron DeSantis. So this is a problem. They wrote an article about it. Maybe I will read a little bit from that. But first I want to go back through and remind you of where we are with the evolution, the devolution of little Jared Moskowitz. One, there's a danger that's posed on multiple levels here about him changing the makeup of the House. The razor-thin majority of Republicans is set to get a little larger with him doing this. But first, let's go through. One, I'll remind you, he voted to censure a Democratic colleague in the House. He heaped and poured praise upon Elise Stefanik in a congratulatory manner about her being named to be the UN ambassador by Donald Trump. That apparently them together are going to fight anti-Semitism. You know, Elise Stefanik, the real serious character who is nothing but a bootlicker to Donald Trump. And then, of course, you'll remember the Matt Gaetz praise, that Matt Gaetz was set to be fiercely competent. He was going to be the most powerful attorney general the United States has ever seen. He knows exactly what to do with the AG's office, just heaping obsequious praise on Donald Trump or on Matt Gaetz, and by extension, Donald Trump for choosing Matt Gaetz. He voted to give Donald Trump insane powers to punish and weaponize the government against activist nonprofits that he doesn't like. And then, of course, he joined the Doge caucus, the Republican Doge caucus, to cut government spending and cut regulations, crippling the aid of the United States government for people who need it the most. And now we are learning that he is willing and ready to join Donald Trump's administration as a cabinet-level individual. This is a time for resistance, not a time for joining. Jared Moskowitz's motto apparently is, if you can't beat them, join them. This is disgusting. This is dangerous because this vacancy, for one, leaves an absence in the House of Representatives that will be filled by special election. And all bets are off right now about getting another Democrat elected there, especially when you have this Democrat out there kissing ass to Donald Trump and the agenda. So the Republicans could potentially gain a seat in the House of Representatives, increasing their margins, which is a problem because they're barely able to get anything done. Every single seat advantage that they have gives them just that much more breathing room to get done the dangerous policy objectives of Donald Trump, sending them then to the Senate, which is equally tenuous majority there. Then on to the desk of the president, Donald Trump, who will sign whatever nonsense goes before him that is pushed by his agenda. And Jared Moskowitz is not only seemingly ready to join the Trump administration to help the agenda of Donald Trump, he's also willing to help the agenda of Donald Trump by leaving the House of Representatives after having just been elected and helping them there. Tell me how this is fourth dimensional chess or whatever. Tell me how this is, he's playing the long game, which is a refrain I'm constantly getting from viewers who are angry that how dare you criticize someone who claims to be a Democrat? How dare you criticize someone who has a D next to their name? I'm not playing this game that you think I am. To me, this is not a game. To me, lives hang in the balance of decisions like this, of obsequious sycophants and bootlickers and lapdogs. Even if they're Democrats, you don't join the Donald Trump administration for a position because you want to help the country. You want to serve your country. You're not serving your country if you serve Donald Trump. You're not serving the American people and their interest by joining the team of fascists within the Trump administration, forwarding the agenda of Project 2025. And there will be those out there who say, well, he ran FEMA in Florida. He's a perfect fit for the job. There are literally hundreds of people who could fill this role who are Republicans. Why a Democrat? Jared Moskowitz is by no means the most qualified person for this job, and the country would suffer without his service in this role. No. Jared Moskowitz has been setting this up, getting close, showering praise on Donald Trump by showering praise on Matt Gaetz. It's just disgusting. Traitorous in the loosest use of the word. It is betrayal in whatever use of that word you want to use. Betrayal. He's betraying the party. He's betraying his constituents. He's betraying his colleagues in the House of Representatives. All for what? The glory of being FEMA director under Donald Trump? Is it going to be worth it, Jared? I'd love an answer to that. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation and your emails. I invite you to tell me how wrong I am again and try to make your case point after point after point after point. How many times do I have to talk about these different things? How many thumbnails have to be created for videos about Jared Moskowitz selling out the country, selling out his democratic ideals to work for someone who tried to overthrow the United States government? How many? Again, leave a comment below. You can call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, if you're not too put off by the fact that I'm going to criticize those who deserve criticism, you can support this work by clicking the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubt-It-Podcast. Those are great ways to help support this work. And you can also buy some merch at dollemore.info. All those purchases go a long way to helping support and produce what we do within the confines of this studio and the podcast studio over there. I love and appreciate you. Maybe I'll see you on social media. I'm at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.